Yo, what's up, people? This is Exactly, and basically this is a response or just my commentary or just expressing myself because I had to on this guy called T-Mont on African Americans are dumb as hell because he's not one. That's his whole thing. Basically, he finds the term offensive. It's like a curse word to him. You know, he doesn't want any connection to Africa at all. He wants to be known as an American. I don't even think he even said black or even black American. He just wants to be an American, which, you know, I don't understand. But I kind of found this video through a person I kind of recently subscribed to. It's Rain on Me B. I want to say what's up. Keep making your videos. I like what you do. So let's go into this dude's maniacal ranting, if you will. So
I am saying why African American is a bogus term. Let's start from the basics. First off, science has indicated and probably proven fact that Africa is the cradle of all civilizations. That means white folk, black folk, Mexican folk, the Asian folk, everybody. And we all migrated out to populate the world. Therefore, everybody could be African if we were going to use the logic. One of the arguments that people come to me with about, well, that's why they call you African, because you're a descendant of black people in Africa. Well, then, what do you do for everybody else that came up out of Africa? You got to call them African too. So we will have African Chinese, African Japanese, African Mexicans, African, yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So that argument does not fly.
okay, so that's the first part. He's saying science dictates that, you know, Africa is the cradle of civilization, that's where life started, and then it just burst out and covered and encompassed the globe and that sort of thing. And you know what? He sounds like he's one of these people that uses the Bible to win an argument. Then he also uses science, and that he flip-flops between both of them just to prove his point, which is completely hypocritical. You know what I mean? And I'm making a big assumption here, but I believe that I'm correct. All right, let's get back to his asinine, and he used that word too, so I'm going to use it to use on himself because he is making an ass out of himself, right? Asinine comments that just because everybody by science came from Africa and we spread out and over thousands of years mutated into other forms, they should be called Africans. Well, first off, technology does not dictate social dynamics, formations of governments and empires. It can help, but it does not do that, right? It is not. It is just a tool that you use, like the car that you're driving, like the pen that you use, or what I'm using now, this computer and a camera. It is just a tool that I use to convey thoughts, to offend people, to inspire people, to make enemies, to make friends, to get like-minded individuals together, to form groups, to form larger groups, to form populations, to form a country that I could name what? Fucking Korea, fucking Cuba, fucking Japan, fucking Russia. You know what? And since thousands of years have happened, they don't look like the people from Africa. They have no connection to Africa, so they cannot be called African. Now, at this point in time, do you look like someone from there? Yes, you do. You have no control over that anyway. You know what I mean? It is the people who are in power, what I just illustrated, whoever's in power makes the rules. So you have no control over it. So you can get offended and cuss all you want to, but you will be known as either black or African American if you're in America. Let's continue.
Secondly, if they say that the argument they use is that, well, it's because that's the country that we came from. Africa is not a country, damn it. It's a continent made up of many countries. So if you were going to use it as a term to identify citizenship or nationality, you can't use the continent. You have to pick a country from within Africa. Then when I throw that at them and they realize how stupid they are
Okay, so he emphasizes his American once again, which we get the point. So he's saying, and he does have a portion of a brain. I don't think he has half a brain but he's got a little section of one. You know what I'm saying? He's probably got the little front lobe right there. But if he would have kept going further, he would have found out more about the truth. But he is correct. Africa is a country. A continent, not a country. Now, what he forgot to just do a little bit more research, is that we have that X factor. That X factor. And what's that X factor? Is that we don't know exactly where we come from. We're from different parts, different countries within Africa. You know what I mean? When they were severing our ties, when we were brought over as slaves, they didn't want us to connect with any other parts. In fact, they had rival clans or tribes within the same compound. And the slave owners didn't even know why these Africans were fighting. Because they fucking hated each other. You know what I mean? They had nothing in common. They've been warring for thousands of years perhaps and had no idea. But what did they do? They severed those ties, and as generations went by, just like thousands of years went by, but hundreds of years went by, we all got used to being called, what? Just Africans. Because we had all those southern, probably from South Africa, whatever, right? So that's why. Now, listen to this, you fucking idiot. I have a Japanese friend, right? He is fourth generation Japanese. That's right. 4 generations here in America. He is probably more American than he is Japanese. He has not once, and I do mean once, ever been to Japan. Neither have his parents. I know more Japanese than him. I've been to Japan 3 times. I'm more Japanese than him. But what does he get called? Japanese American. Because he what? Looks like people from that area, from that region. He has no control over that, just like you don't. Some people get accused from being from India because maybe the way they speak or something like that. You have no control over that. So get over your fucking self. Let's continue.
This is where I was born. This is where I was raised. This is where I was educated. I haven't lost anything in Africa. Then you say, well, you're turning your back on the motherland. Screw them. They helped sell us into slavery, fools. Why? You know what? It's all of them. They'll lick their dirty jaws just to get a damn that culture. They enslaved their own. They cut off the hands of their own men. They cut off the breasts of their own women. You don't see that happening over here, although we...
Okay, so basically he's talking about they sold us into slavery. They, meaning Africa, once again, pointing out his hatred for Africa or anything dealing with Africa. So I guess he doesn't condone anything from there. He just wants to be American. And I want this genius to explain how you're going to discover America, first of all, when it already has, people already living here. About 400 different tribes have been archived who have lived all throughout America, from the Pacific Northwest all the way down to Florida. This shit all used to be by different tribes of Indians. You know what I mean? And they carved up the United States or America, whatever you want to call it, and they all didn't get along either. But what do we all call them? Indians. No matter what part they're from. You know what I mean? From down here in California where I am at, you know what I mean? They wouldn't get along with the ones up in the north. Okay. So let's go back to your fucking slavery comment. And this is another thing that especially older black people don't realize, or they find out that some African tribes sold to white people, is that they believe that that's the only truth. That they, Africans, sold all of us, a whole population worth, believe it or not, to America. When all you have to do is a little bit of research. And if you can't read, because it sounds like you don't know how to fucking read. And if you don't know how to fucking read, watch a video or look at a picture book, you fucking imbecile, you fucking 9th grader, you fucking child. That's what you sound like, bitching and crying. You fucking adolescent. Damn it. So, getting me all emotional is that, Europeans have been fucking over Europeans for thousands of years, way before they got to us. Vikings have been going over to other white people and raping 14-year-olds and killing old women in the streets. Chinese have been doing the same thing. Another Chinese country would conquer another Chinese country, and once they gobble that up, they could do whatever the fuck they want to do with those people. If they want to sell them into bondage, so be it. This is nothing unique just to black people. Listen to me, black people. There are other cultures that do that. In fact, all other cultures do this. But once again, just how like you don't want to be called African American because you hate it. I hate that African American people don't realize that white people and all Asians and all these other fucking races do the same fucking bullshit that we do. They are no different and they are no special. They've been fucking each other over and killing each other and selling each other. Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Russian, Germans, all of them. They all hate each other, right? And they even hate each other within each other. So, that's basically my video. Stop making your stupid asinine videos with no kind of facts whatsoever. This is exactly